Going on, guys? It is the professional trader, aka the funded trader, aka Usman Afolabi. It is a little bit past midnight, so it is currently Monday, September 11th, 2023. Today's video is just going to be an weekly outlook on the markets and what can potentially happen and what I can do if these things do happen, right? And also, I'll be updating my FTMO account, just letting anybody who's following my journey, just so y'all can see how I'm doing, and just so anybody who's watching can know this isn't a gimmick. There's nothing fake. It's all real. All right, so it's enough talking on my end. Let's just go ahead and get right on to it. So for anybody that knows my trading style before I start trading, right? I always like to start with the DXY, right? Because if we know what the dollar is doing, we can kind of get an outlook before even looking at other charts on what they're doing for the most part, right? It doesn't always work like that, but for the most part, right? If the dollar is pushing up really high, things like USD CAD, things like USD JPY are going up. And if the dollar is falling really hard, things like AUD USD, things like Euro USD, and that nature are like going up, right? For the most part. And the dollar and gold kind of correlate, right? For the most part. If gold is going up, for the most part, the dollar is going down. If the dollar is going up, for the most part, gold is going down, right? And these are just little tools that help me um just kind of make some more educated trades, I guess I should say, right? But so last week, we saw the DXY and in a bullish, very bullish way, right? We saw this level, the structure level get broken, right? So in my opinion, the next obvious level of resistance would be this 105.87, 105.87 level, right? You can maybe say, this level right here is some form of resistance, but price hasn't really wicked off of there too much. But in this general area, we have some price reaction a couple of times, but we can call this level right here the next level of resistance. And we see at the moment price opened up massively rejecting it, right? So go down to the day chart, right? Market just opened up. We need to see how it's going to continue to play out. In my opinion, though, the dollar does look bullish. If we go ahead and clear all this out, right, and we were looking for like the next obvious resistance level as to where the dollar could potentially pick up some buying momentum again, right? What am I looking for? This, right? So have this level most definitely right here, which price can come into before it starts to pull back up higher, right? We also have, this level right here, and then this little area, the general area right here, right? So I don't think the dollar is bearish, even though it is bearish at the moment. Any retracements, I would be potentially looking just for buying opportunities. And if we pull out, if we pull out the Fed and we draw the Fed from here, you see this right here lines up with the 382. And then we have this 236 level here as well, right? And then we have this 50%, this 618 deeper retracements here, right? So, just have to see what happens. Can the markets catch a bounce off of here? And then if not, can we start to see some type of momentum pick up around these areas? And then if not, the DXY might just be due for further retracements. But I do think the DXY is bullish, the dollar is bullish. And I feel like the next level to target would be this 105.88 level here, right? So we take that knowledge, right, and then we go ahead and we start looking at some currency curves, right? So GBP USD, we saw pretty obvious levels get broken. Let's just go ahead and remove everything. We saw this support level get broken, right? And then we saw it get broken again. So to me, clear indications of a downtrend, right? So for me to just go ahead and enter sell right now, that's not really the way I trade. So where could we possibly look for places to get in on this trade, right? So without even pulling up, Fibonacci levels, right here would be, the perfect break and retest back to the downside, right? So that would be the most ideal trade setup, right? For somebody like me who wants to potentially be in the trade for a couple of days, right? If we can get the pushback up to this level, I'll be looking to potentially continue to short it, right? And then we also have this level right here, which price broke. So go ahead and take our fib, from we had this price break right here, and then we had this retracement, and then we had this price break right here again. So I take my fib from here. This break right here kind of lines up with the 618. So potential 618 rejection play. Also have the 50% level here. And we also have this other break, which kind of lines up with the 382 level, right? So these are the levels that I am looking to potentially continue to short GBP USD, right? Either potentially from here or either potentially from here, right? Just have to see how price action, excuse me, just have to see how price action reacts around these levels here, right? So don't need to complicate it too much, right? So that's how I feel about GBP USD. USD JPY, seems like the market's opened up with a gap, right? And for the however long I've been looking at charts now, 4 or 5 years, every time I see a gap in the market, I've always seen the markets come back to fill in that gap of some sort, right? So the market gap down. Usually the market will come and fill in this gap, usually like 100%, like 75%. But just from all my years of trading, I've always seen markets filling the gap. So I guess if you're bullish, that's a potentially good thing. So for me, where could I get in on USD JPY? Just because I am bullish on USD JPY, right? Just before this, let's go ahead and look at the weekly, right? We saw last week price closed in this massive engulfing bullish candle, right? We saw the break of this wick structure right here, right? We saw price was able to break and close above this wick structure right here, right? So, and then now we see the markets opening up in a bearish, not downtrend, but in with bearish momentum, right? So kind of got these levels marked, right? So for me, where would I be looking to potentially continue to buy USD JPY? Ideally, would have been down here, right? And if price could come back down here, that would be like, the perfect buy opportunity and best risk to reward ratio, right? But if that doesn't happen, that's sorry, wrong button. So we have this 50% level, which price is currently at the moment, right? So potential buying opportunities in this area, in this 50% area, and maybe in this 618 area here too, right, as well. Would for me to buy it, honestly, just for me to buy it in either one of these areas, I would want to see something like, something like a double bottom, like price creating its own support in this area. So that way I could put my stop loss just below this right here, right? And then continue to buy it up, right? So that would be the most ideal thing to happen, just because I don't really love the area that it's in. It's kind of in a gray area right here, right? Until it breaks either, I guess, this level. It's already broke, so it's already in an uptrend, in my opinion, but it's kind of in this kind of back and forth, right? Well, if I bought it right here, I'd be buying it in between a back and forth, right? So, uh, yeah, if price can create its own little support, maybe down here, maybe looking to potentially buy it, but USDJPY wouldn't want to really look for buys unless price was able to come down here again, right? And then something like that. And that's how I feel about USDJPY. So, um, not the most ideal, not really any ideal setups on USDJPY, right? Just have to keep watching, see what happens. Euro USD, go ahead and just delete everything. So, see, for the last number of weeks, we've had nothing but bearish closure candles on the weekly chart, right, to end the week. So if we were marking up levels, the next obvious support level would be down there, right? Price looks like it is most definitely in a continuation of a downtrend, right? Just we have this wick, right? That price came up all the way up here, rejected it, and then closed all the way down here. And then the next following week, more bearish momentum. So to me, that just says that, this is a bearish market, right? And the next level of support or the next resistance level, I always get confused on those two, but to me, they technically mean the same thing. Like, you can just word them how you want to. You can call this a support level, or you can call it a resistance level, because, I think it's kind of like if you know what you're saying, then they kind of mean the same thing. Like, yeah, support level, resistance level. People might not agree, but that's me. I know what I say when I say it. So whatever. So it looks like price wants to head down here, right? So for me, the next obvious thing would be, can we get a break of the structure right here, right? And if we can we get a retest of the structure right here, right? And that's just one way. If you were looking to sell your USD, right? That's just one way you could play it. But right, let's say we draw the fib right from here to here. And let's say before the break and retest, you want to potentially get in, right? So we have this 236 level where we see 1, 2, 3, 3 times price is rejected, right? So this could be an area where price just continues to fall that, right? We could see a little push up here, and then a decline, right? Just like how price is doing once, twice, 3 times. Or we can get steeper retracements into this 382. It's 50%, 618, right? So we have some levels that price could potentially pull back up to before continuing to fall, right? If markets are still bearish. I feel like this would be the most ideal one. This 382 level right here. But this 50% level here, right? Those would be like to me the most ideal trade setups, nice retracements, and then continuations back down, right? So that's how I feel about Euro USD. We still have this level right here that we need to be cautious of, just because price might not pull back up that high, right? This price can pull back up here as well and just continue to fall. So have some levels that we need to watch, that I should watch out for Euro USD. I actually set an alert here, um, just to be notified if this level if this level gets broken, right? So USD CHF, I haven't really been looking at USD CHF just because I don't really like it. So I'll just go ahead and move that down here. AUD USD. I was in AUD USD sales. If anybody's watching from my last video, moved my entered somewhere around here. Price came here and retraced. I had moved my stop loss here. So I secured profits no matter what. It seems like price has stopped me out as the markets have opened up this Sunday. So I mean, that's okay. So, we never got the clear break of this level right here, right? So I still do think price is bearish on AUD USD, right? But we'll now have to look for more opportunities to get in, right? So keep hitting the wrong button. So if we draw our fib from here to here, well, apologies, excuse me. This setup I didn't take also. This is just a potential, just a setup that I drew up, but didn't really like it, but I just drew it up to see, but glad I didn't take it, right? But let's go ahead and go to the weekly chart, right? So we have this area right here that let's just go ahead and clear everything. Just looking at this chart, we have this area that was broken, right? We had retracements followed by wicks and then followed by bearish momentum, right? So to me, that indicates bearishness in these markets still, right? But still don't have this, you don't have this break of structure, right? We saw this wick happen, and then we saw the closure of this wick, right? See this wick right here, but we don't have the closures of these wicks, right? So therefore, it's creating its own little resistance here at the bottom now because we have 1, 2, 3 wicks. Price has opened up very bullish, but I wouldn't just say, let's just go ahead and start buying this market yet. I'd still be looking for short opportunities, right? So where could I be looking to potentially get in on these shorts, right? So we have this break of structure followed by this retracement, followed by this move here, right? So I would draw my fib levels from here to here, right? And then I would take it to the 4-hour chart. So you see that price is right here, right on this 50% level right here, right? So that's a potential level we could be looking at to potentially short it, right? I wouldn't personally just short it just yet, just because seems like there's a lot of bullishness. I mean, a lot of bearishness at the current moment, right? I'd probably just give the markets a couple of hours, to settle down and really just see which direction it wants to go in. But we see this break of structure right here. I mean, this resistance level right here lines up perfectly with the 618, right? So can price come back and tag this level where price broke, right? Can price come back here? And to me, that would be the most ideal setup, taking a trade in this area, or even this area, and then trading it back down. So I'll be looking to see if we can get the push up to this level right here. And if we can get that push up, then can we see some type of bearish momentum coming? And if we can, then I'll be looking to potentially continue to short this market. USD CAD. Looks like I'm going to get trailed out of this trade over here as well too, right? So same thing with USD CAD. Go ahead and delete these. But you saw the not like the most like clear break, like just not like the most what's the word I'm looking for? Like not like the most like a massive break of structure, right? Price did close above these wicks right here, right? But like not like the most convincing breaks, right? Especially not after this break and then this immediate bearishness. And then as we can see, the markets open up this week continued by a lot more bearishness, right? So not the most convincing break, and then followed by this immediate bearishness, right? So do I think USD CAD is still bullish? I would still lean towards yes, just because I would be expecting some dollar bullishness, right? And dollar bullishness would most likely lead to USD CAD pushing up. If we do look at USD CAD, it's been trailing up for a very long time, right? So a retracements are needed, right? And deeper retracements could potentially be needed as well, right? We have this obvious level right here. But I wanted to continue to buy USD CAD, right? Where would I be looking? So I would take my fib level, draw it up here. We see that we have this 50% level right here. The price is coming onto. And we see we have the 618, right? At the 76 level, right? So I probably wouldn't take this trade right here personally, just because I would give it some time. But there are some potential opportunities to get in this market, right? This is the most ideal one. This is the most ideal one. Maybe followed by, here. And then, this one I'd probably just delete. Just because, price did break this level here, probably just be expecting deeper retracements regardless, right? So seems like price is at this little support resistance level right here, right? At the moment, looks like price is breaking it, right? So we can not expect, but we can, well, I guess you can say expect. We can expect price to pull down here, right? And then if price pulls down here, what will price actually do at the moment? And then if price breaks this level here, potentially be expecting further retracements, potentially back down here. So looking for USD CAD buys, just looking for opportunities to get in. Not looking to get in right now at this current moment, just because prices. I'm bullish on the dollar, and price isn't that right now. So there would be no point in for me to just be getting in on trades right now. GBP, JPY. This is a setup where I drew up, didn't take it. Would have been nice if I did though, right? Just, we had just a lot of bearishness coming in. So I would just expect a bearish momentum. I don't really look at GJ, another pair that I really analyze. So no point in talking about it. Gold, I was in gold. I got trailed out of my gold trade, right? But same thing for gold. We have this fib level that's still valid, right? So I have this 382 level. And we have this 50% level, but an ideal setup would be push up here, and then look to potentially continue to short it. So gold, I'll most definitely be watching. Gold looks like the most like potentially ready for a setup, right? Just because you have this obvious resistance level up here. So I'm looking to potentially short gold, just waiting for push-ups higher. And then if we get these push-ups higher into these support and resistance level, can price action or will price action show us that, the market may potentially go the other way, right? So that's how I feel about the markets this week. I'll be making another video maybe on Tuesday just to see how the markets are looking. If I take any trades, I'll most definitely be making a video about that as well. Go ahead and take a look at Forex Factories. Today is September 11th. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives this day. So looking at USD news, a lot of CGBP news, GBP news. We have CPI on Wednesday. Numbers are looking better than the forecast, I should say, are looking better than the previous, which is an early good sign, I guess, for bullishness. And then Thursday, have a lot of news. And on Friday, we have some news as well. So it seems this week, well, at least up until Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are that's very fundamental. But today, Monday, Tuesday, technical. Monday and Tuesday will be very technical because it's just not too much news. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, seems like a lot of news is coming out, which usually affects the direction the markets will go in. So most definitely will be cautious of news coming out this week, and probably won't be taking any trades until after the news comes out. So right, just something to be cautious of. I'm not a news trader, but just you do want to be aware for sure. My FTMO account. Here's how my FTMO account is doing. I was up about 4-point-something% with the equity, but prices kind of retraced a bit, so I'm about 2.4%. Got closed out of some trades here, right? So last couple winners that I had, right? USD CAD gold got stopped out. Got stopped out of my sell for AUD USD, and then got stopped out of my buy as well for USD CAD. So I've gotten stopped out of most of my trades. I think I only have one running at the moment. That's okay. As you can see, 10 days, 7 days. So most definitely trying to be a swing trader. 35.7 win rate. Average loss 27, average profit 98, average risk to reward 3.6. Expecting to see 7. Not the best numbers for sure. Excuse me. Nothing worse. See my balance is up 2.47%. I think I'm in another USD CAD trade, but I think I'm down. Not I think, but I'm down on that one at the moment. So my equity is 2.4%. But all in all, still up, not rushing to finish. I'm doing good. Might not be a lot of money for a lot of people, but this is the reality of trading. If you don't have $100,000 to play with, this to me is as real as it gets right here. And it's trying to keep it real, right? So it's enough talking for me. This video is probably super long. Thank you to anybody who is watching my videos. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you do like. As always, thank you guys. Thank God. You guys have a great night.